it's the way we've been practicing. You just never know when you get on game night will that continue, that unselfishness, the ball movement. And I thought the guys did a great job really all night, just moving the ball, sharing the ball, take what the defense gave us. And we got a lot of guys that can shoot it. And I thought, we got a great kind of distribution of threes as well. So offensively, yeah, I was excited. The assists, I think it was 19 and a half to 24 made field goals, something like that. So that says a team that's really sharing the ball.
Zach and then Josh.
Darren, I mean, it feels like we asked you about it a lot, but I think at one point Trent was 8 for 8 from the floor, obviously finishes with 23 points. Just how do you see him, I guess, building on these performances, whether it's practices in the summer, what he was doing in Puerto Rico, now kind of carrying it into the fall, especially as a freshman? How do you see him trying to sort of stack those performances and that growth, one on top of the other?
Yeah, I love what Trent's doing. He's really fitting in well. Like he works hard at it. He puts a lot of time into it. Spent a ton of time on his shot this summer, and catching shoots and shooting on the move a little bit. Continuing to be one of our better cutters that we have as well. And then he's a good rebounder. So I'm really excited about the things he's doing, and he continues to grow and get better every day. And he's also in a role where he can kind of fit into, and have, a little bit of the pressure taken off by some of those seniors, so he can come in and just kind of play and be relaxed and do his thing. But yeah, he had a great night tonight, and we're looking forward to seeing what he continue to grow into.
Josh and then Nez.
Yeah, Coach Tucker scored at all 3 levels tonight. He had 5 threes out of 7 shots. What did you like from him after a slow start in Puerto Rico tonight?
Yeah, I thought he did a good job, kind of just, playing, and that's what I think he has. One of his better qualities, I think, is just his feel and his IQ and his ability to kind of play off of defenses. So, we rely on a lot with some of his, playmaking as well, coming off of ball screens and things, and then also being able to utilize them on the move. So, I thought he had a nice solid floor game tonight.
Nez and then Robbie.
Tucker, has he always been kind of a vocal leader? I mean, is he embracing that even more now? I mean, because obviously now, the last 2 years, he's kind of been in kind of that role and never had guys that played with you. He's the only one. Like, has he embraced that? You've seen, what kind of growth have you seen to be a leader on the floor?
Yeah, he's always been a really good leader. As he's gotten older, he's become more vocal with it as well. For this group, especially when you have everybody's new, and he's the one guy that understands, everything we're running, whether it's drills or plays or whatever. So, really challenged him to kind of be that guy, because he's got to be the one that kind of tells people. Him and Connor and Wright as well. His vocal leadership has really gotten stronger and stronger over the years.
Robbie and then Pete.
Yeah, one of the things Trent told me over the summer was that he wanted to learn from Tucker. That he looked at Tucker's game and said, I want a lot of that in my game. How much of that is happening, and how much can that help Trent's overall development?
Yeah, I think it's always great when you get an incoming freshman that has a guy that they can kind of work off of one another, teach each other a little bit of the kind of tricks of the game, if you will, like just how to best get yourself open, cutting, all that type of stuff. And Trent's one of those guys that really absorbs learning and teaching and coaching too. So that's why his upside is really good, because he cares. It's important to him, and he works at it.
Pete and then Zion.
Yeah, Sam obviously got a double-double tonight. Just your thoughts on him and what he can bring this season.
Yeah, Sam gives us that physicality, and we don't have a lot of big girthy guys, especially on the interior. So he's one of those guys that does bring some of that physical presence, some of that shot blocking. And I like the way we can utilize both of them, either together or separately. They kind of give like a different type of 1-2 punch with him and Reed. We can play them together, we can play them separate, but I like Sam's ability, like, hey, we can throw it in there and he can go get a basket every now and then.
Zion and then Seth.
Yeah, Darren, just more on Trent. When we were here a few weeks ago, he had said that you called him basically on your first night on the job, trying to get him to keep his commitment here. Just what was it about him that you wanted to still coach and be around it, and what do you remember about that phone call?
Yeah, I remember he was one of the very first calls, right away that night. But just felt like it was someone. Hey, it's a local kid. He wants to be at Indiana. It's important to him, and he's a good player. So that makes a lot of sense to me. Let's keep that one. And I know he was really excited about it. We were certainly excited about it. So it's great to have him.
Seth and then Trevor.
Darren, you talked about the ball movement your team showed before. I mean, 27 assists on 39 made field goals tonight and only 10 turnovers. Just how pleased are you with the way that your team has gelled in that way on the court so far early on?
Yeah, it's been really good, and again, the challenges will continue to grow as you know, we play, you know, more and more games, but, you know, even the other day in practice, we had 31 assists and 3 turnovers. I've never had that. That's in 5-on-5 play, but I've never had that as a coach. You know, so some of that is just, you know, as we begin to see longer and bigger bodies and more athleticism, like we're going to have to, you know, make some adjustments to that, but these guys really understand how to play. You know, we talk about playing off of 2 feet, you know, making sure that you can still be aggressive, but let's make the right plays at the end of it. And I love how these guys have really kind of adapted to, you know, the way we want them to play offense.
Last question, Trevor.
When you get up 20, 30 points like tonight against an overmatched team, how hard is it to keep the team focused on, you know, executing and going kind of through the process of getting better, even though it's a blowout and you probably win easily?
Yeah, exhibition games especially are really challenging because we know it's, you know, it doesn't count for anything. You know, we're just working on ourselves. But that was a big thing, like leading up to the game and every time out is just, you know, focus on us. Let's make sure that we continue to, you know, be sound defensively. Sometimes you can get a little bit too aggressive, you know, when you get, you know, the ability to go out and maybe make plays and stuff. But we wanted our defense to stay sound, you know, behind the ball. So get into the ball, make sure we're really good behind it, you know, that we're giving our guys protection like we work on and not get away from all of our principles and things, which was, you know, a lot of that came from being in Puerto Rico. We learned a lot of kind of some of the mistakes we made defensively when we were there, and we were able to really clean a lot of that stuff up because of that opportunity.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you all.